Everybody's talking about the Epstein files and some of the names that are coming out of them. Jay-Z, Pusha T are accused of having been involved with the assault of some young ladies back in the 90s and the mid 2000s with Harvey Weinstein and some other unsavory predators that we've come to know over the last few years. And for me, the outrage is performative because it's like talking about water being wet. Why are we surprised that any of these celebrities that we once liked or cared about are a part of these files or being accused of some of these egregious crimes when we know what they've been attached to? People like Jay-Z have been around young ladies his entire career. In fact, it is rumored that he got with Beyonce when she was 16. There are pictures and photos with him around Beyonce when she was that age. There's pictures and videos around him with Aaliyah when she was that age. And we all know what that culture was like in the 90s with a lot of these celebrities and these young 16, 17-year-old ladies, okay? When you talk about the R. Kellys and these open secrets about them sleeping with these girls, I don't know where the outrage is coming from. This is not surprising, shouldn't be surprising to anybody, including the stuff that has come out of those files. Well, as far as like some of the rapes, some of the sexual assaults, the druggings, especially when you consider how Sean Combs was moving and how many celebrities and higher ups were okay with him moving like that. This is a normal culture amongst the elite, the powerful, and the wealthy. See, the elite sit just above celebrity. And for celebrity is like, I would say celebrity is like their toy box, okay? Celebrities are these coveted, beautiful people that everybody wants to be around, including the elite. And the elite, since they have the money, since they're paying for the purse strings, are able to puppeteer and prostitute these people to their desire, okay? And a lot of times they can use these celebrities to draw in more victims, more people who want to be a part of the lifestyle. See, if you're sitting at the hyper elite, you can't just go down to the slums and get some destitute, beautiful young Latina to come to be a sex slave. You have to entice her in a way. And the best way to entice young ladies into that type of trafficking and that type of world is through celebrity, right? So you have these celebrities who've taken advantage of these young ladies, supposedly, allegedly. But for me, the reason that it's hard for me to even talk about it, because I could talk about it, I can act outraged about it, but like I said, it's like reporting that water is wet. What am I going to do about it, right? For me, when it comes to these Epstein files, the reason I'm not so outraged by it is because I know that Epstein ain't the only Epstein. I know that he was a scapegoat. He is one of many, okay? And you look at the emails and the culture that permeated around this man, as far as the sexual depravity, the trips to his island, the back and forth that he was having with these different people, how casually they talked about death, sexual assault, uh, uh, curating culture. This is who they are. And I'm not talking about just Epstein. I'm talking about everybody that surrounded themselves with this man, including the president, who was supposedly been redacted from all of the files, but we know had a close relationship with that man. It's all a game. So they're going to pull to the forefront the people that they want to pull to the forefront because it's going to cause a good headline. The Jay-Z's, the Pusha T's, right? These are the men that they propped up over the black community as our leaders and the people that we aspire to be. Meanwhile, they've done nothing but push poison into our ears, spell poison into our ears. Because when we speak words, as far as like, in mass, those words become reality. So the curators of the rap industry, like Jay-Z, like Puff Daddy, like the lot of people who have made their money off of selling negativity towards the black community, their chickens are coming to roost. And not because of some karmic retribution that the universe has for them. No, it's because their usefulness has come to an end. Most of the black community no longer looks at the culture and the culture that these people were pushing as something to aspire to. In fact, we see that it's been to our detriment by the negativity that is pushed on the youth. People like Jay-Z got put on, and I mean put on, after making songs like Big Pimpin', which I love that song. I'm not saying I don't like the song, but you have to think about what the song talks about. And it's talking about using and abusing women, right? And it was like the anthem of the world for a minute, and it put him in this upper echelon of rappers, and he stayed there ever since. But even for me, I could see through that, and it was more than just a hit song that put him on. It was the fact that I knew behind the scenes this man was rubbing elbows with a whole lot of people. For people to say that Jay-Z was one of the best rappers alive, for me, and this is coming from a fan of Jay-Z, I'm like, not really. Like his delivery, I can see where y'all can say his wordplay and everything, but one of the best rappers alive is crazy work. Like literally was fucking crazy work. And even like having been a Jay-Z fan as I'm making this video, the only song that I can like literally think of just like off the top of my head was Big Pimpin', right? Like as far as like a thing. And I say he hasn't had hits after hits after hits over the years and hasn't been involved in the industry, but for him to be like the king of hip hop after all this time has been questionable to me. And the reason that I say that is because, like I say, his art never stacked up to what his status was, in my opinion. Just like Kendrick Lamar fan, winning 26 Grammys the other night. To me, distraction from a whole lot of other stuff. This man is not that good. His album was not that fire, bro, for 27 fucking Grammys. We're not like us. They not like us. They not like, I mean, Kendrick Lamar has made way better music in the past with stuff like Backseat Freestyle, Good Kid, Mad City. Those were fucking Emmy-worthy songs, but y'all make this divisive anti-fucking establishment music where he benefits from the establishment. All these people that were at the Grammys last night, all these people rubbing elbows, they are the establishment. They are the elite. When they get up there and they talk about anti-ICE and revolution and stuff, they're not talking about them performing acts of defiance to bring about revolution. They're trying to inspire you idiots to get out there to start whatever revolution that they're talking about by leaving America as like open as like a fucking open buffet for anybody to come and take a piece of us from. Fuck them, fuck celebrities. So no, anybody ending up on that Epstein list, it doesn't surprise me. People like Jay-Z, and I know people are defending Pusha T. Pusha T was only 19 in 1996. Pusha T's allegations come from 2007 when he was 30 years old. It didn't come way back from the 90s. And even for the people defending Jay-Z like Lizzo and a lot of the fucking peons that are, y'all don't know none of these people. I'm not saying that he did it, I'm not saying that he didn't, but I'm saying it's probable, it's plausible that you see all these pictures of Jay-Z rubbing elbows with the Harvey Weinsteins and these elite people. Y'all don't think that they're in some fucking cabal in the back end where these motherfuckers are doing weirdo shit? Y'all think this shit is just made up? That we just come up with this stuff? Like the victims and the people that have been a part of these like eyes wide shut parties are just coming up with this stuff? No, this is stuff that has happened to them. These are victims. But celebrity worship is such a big thing in the Western world that a lot of people can't believe it. But my thing is, the reason that it's like even like, it's like, what's the point of even talking about this? Because I know nothing's going to be done. We can sit here and say, oh, Jay-Z victimized this person or allegedly, or this celebrity victimized this person. But at the end of the day, what's going to be done about it? Nothing. Everybody's going to have their little conversations and form their little opinions, but nothing's going to be done to punish the hyper elite. We sit here, we talk about Epstein, right? We let the government tell us that there is nothing, there was nobody trafficked it from that Epstein list, right? He didn't traffic those girls to nobody, but y'all convicted him of sex trafficking, right? He was in prison when he died for sex trafficking, right? That's what Jeffrey Epstein was in prison for. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison right now for sex trafficking. Am I correct? Right? We have thousands of files and emails corroborating some of these victims' statements and everything, saying that there was a sex trafficking ring going on. We have photographs and videos and all these things popping up online of these disgusting men taking advantage of these young ladies and disgusting women taking advantage of these children, okay? But the government is telling us that there was no trafficking. What the fuck did y'all convict him for then? Who was trafficked? Who did he traffic the woman? Did he traffic them to himself? No, they were trafficked to powerful people. So the problem is that we sit at a precipice where we have to come to the realization that power can only be touched at a certain point. This is the level of power where power can't be touched. And for a lot of us, this is the real story where it's like, okay, well, power can't be touched, then what do? There's a limit to where justice can be served, right? When you see these powerful men, these presidents, these celebrities have gotten away with literally murder. In some of these cases, they're saying they've dismembered people, ate intestines, taken apart babies. And I'm just saying, this is allegedly. This is what's in the DOJ's Epstein files that they released over the weekend, okay? This is all what's in there about murder and alleged this and satanic rituals and all the stuff that we've heard about over the years, right? All being put in these things. Some of it corroborated with photographs and videotape evidence nothing is going to be done to the men who benefited from Jeffrey Epstein's services, because Jeffrey Epstein is the fall guy. There's a lot of Jeffrey Epsteins. Trust me, when Jeffrey Epstein's services went dark, somebody else's services came up. This is an industry for the elite. And for us peons, us goy, right? We don't necessarily understand everything, the intricacies of evil, the almighty forces of evil, and how they operate, because our minds don't go there. Our minds don't go to a ritualistic sacrifice and shaping the culture in order for fucking young men to become fucking eunuchs and don't believe me. Here's an email that Jeffrey Epstein had with a man named Robert Trivers. Robert Trivers is like this doctor, fucking pro-trans voice person that was all over TV talking about the benefits of pretty much transitioning children and why you should start early. This is the emails between these two men, okay? This is one of the correspondence. This is from Robert Trivers to Jeffrey Epstein. It is very simple. I will compare male to female with female to male. With greater molecular control over development, we are increasingly capable of producing novel phenotypes. More feminine man by blocking testosterone receptors or castration, and at the same time increasing estrogen production. The one blocks male features. The second encourages female features. So this is between Jeffrey Epstein. Take in mind, these men have Jeffrey Epstein is managing billions of dollars. These men shape culture. Okay. This email was from December 17th, 2018. He says, more masculine women, heavy testosterone dosage, incredible external effects, heavily bearded men. You would never guess that they had a female bone in their body. First kind, male to female, is 4 times more frequent than female to male. The first is attractive, saying male to female transgenders are attractive. He is a woman with a cock. So if your fantasy is to suck a man's dick, otherwise you are completely heterosexual, it would be a much nicer if the rest of the organism, talking about the lady, is female, or transgender is female. Then you can get the best of both worlds. See, these were perverts. See, this man who proposes transitioning young kids and get on TV to promote this is a sexual pervert, because he's talking about just, oh, you want the best of both worlds to be able to have a female with a man dick. That's perverted shit. That ain't got nothing to do with the mental stability and health of a person who identifies in the wrong body. Okay, these are weirdos. He says, so many transsexual women are very attractive and easily make money, which in turn they assert promotes their prostitution, since they have to pay hefty fees for injections every week. He's talking about the estrogen, but they are sexually happy once they have reached once you have reached manhood. Even castration does not prevent the sensation of orgasm. So he's talking about how to transition male to female and how they remain attractive and how they'll keep sexual function, how it's easier for males to females to keep sexual function when you castrate a dick and turn it into a vagina. This is the conversation that this man is having with Jeffrey Epstein, okay? This is in 2018. He says, contrast the poor female to male versions. They're unhappy and lonely. There are men with mum pums, the worst of both worlds. If you like smelly masculine man, you want that hard cock that comes with the show. You do not want one of nature's more complex variable structures, the pom-pom. He's talking about the pussy. That is an acquired taste and not with a man. There are hundreds of female to trans videos and websites. I have never seen a male one. By the way, we are now pushing the intervention early. This is California bullshit. So you notice that your 3-year-old son has trans tendencies. So now you intervene with hormones. He says, I would be frightened to do that, but who knows? This is the conversation that some of your top scientists were having with men like Jeffrey Epstein. Why was Jeffrey Epstein able to have these conversations with all these different men? Presidents, kings, princes, celebrities, politicians, scientists. You know what I'm saying? The reason being because he was a funnel of money. Wherever money goes, it's like a fucking toilet. And all the shit has to go down the same fucking pipe, right? And he was that pipe that funneled a lot of this shit through. But he ain't the only fucking toilet in the goddamn bathroom. There's plenty of fucking places where people are shitting their morality down this fucking proverbial toilet. But that's what it is. And it's a scientist, politicians. So when they push these agendas on you, when all of a sudden everybody gay, everybody wants to be trans, everybody's this, it's because the men behind the real evil motherfuckers behind the scenes, like the Epsteins and the people that he financed, are the ones that are curating this world, that are affecting our lives, that are affecting the lives of our children. That's the real story. That not Jay-Z being a fucking a perverted proposed pervert. That's not news, right? We can assume that about most of these celebrities because we don't know these people. We don't know these people. I don't know how many times I have to reiterate it. We do not know these people and the evils that beset them. These people are fucked up. A lot of your favorite celebrities are fucked up. In order to be in a place where you're around that much money and influence, you have to do something to compromise yourself so that they know that they have you in their pocket, so that they know that you're one of them. If I get put on tomorrow, okay, all of a sudden all this money start coming to me. I'm gonna start getting all these people saying that they want me to advertise for them and influence for them and do this and do that and da da da, right? And I say, okay, I need some money. I want to be a part of it. I'm starting to be successful. But at some point, when that level of success becomes a point where so many people are listening to me, or there's so much money on the line, they will try to compromise me. And that's why when you wish on certain blessings, you have to understand, or you pray on certain blessings, you have to understand that God ain't the only one listening. The devil's listening too. The devil answers prayers. He really does. And a lot of times it comes with celebrity. It comes with, okay, all of a sudden I'm rubbing elbows with all these people. All of a sudden I got enough money to pay my rent for the next 2 years. All of a sudden I'm good. All of a sudden I'm dressed nice. I'm eating good. I'm around all these fucking people. But at some point it just gets to a point where they're like, all right, if you want to stay in these rooms, we want to introduce you to these people. When you find yourself drugged up in some bathhouse being serviced by some 9-year-old girl and you on tape, that is the game. Now you're gonna do exactly what we tell you to do because we got you on tape being serviced by some 9-year-old girl in the bathhouse, and you're like, I don't even remember doing that. But you're on tape. That's you. You were here. You checked in, right? That's what a lot of these celebrities go through, and you can't all of a sudden turn your back on the evil just because of money. You got to do what they tell you to do. They tell you to put out 15 fucking albums, but you only got 3 in you. You better reach deep down on you and figure out how to get the other fucking 12 albums out. That's how it works. That's what it is. So no, it doesn't surprise me that Jay-Z was allegedly, and Pusha T and all these other people were allegedly in these rooms with these motherfuckers doing egregious stuff. It shouldn't be surprising to you. It shouldn't be surprising to me. It shouldn't be surprising to anybody. What the conversation that should be had is, how do we hold people accountable, powerful people accountable, when these type of things come up? That's the conversation, right? Because we can sit here and say, oh, you're on this list. We this like everybody's doing right now. Everybody's making content about this Epstein list. Everybody's talking about it. But what are we going to do about it? What's going to come out of it? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing, right? We've been talking about this list for the last 5 years, which me personally feel like it's a convenient distraction whenever they want us to look over here. This past weekend, the fucking stock market, the financial market of the Western world flickered. That goes with crypto, precious metals, the S&P index, the stock market, all fucking had a dip, and then just it came back up, right? So while we over here talking about this fucking list of this dead man, this dead white man, this supposed dead white man who was a part of, like, who was rubbing elbows with all these other people. Oh, he was evil. Y'all are acting like we in the credit scenes of a fucking movie, right? This ain't over. Jeffrey Epstein left. Trust me, women are gonna get molested tonight. Young girls are gonna get molested tonight by that same cabal, by those same people that we're talking about. People are gonna be trafficked today. Some of these same men are gonna molest today. But we talking about, oh, the list. The people that are in power right now are still doing the stuff within those lists. They're probably just a little bit more careful about where they write shit down and who they deal with, right? Who wants to have photos with who and all that. But trust me, Jeffrey Epstein was one of many. He is one of many. This whole black market, blackmailing network shit that they're doing, this isn't new. This has been happening. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? Celebrity worship is a thing. You shouldn't be surprised that any of these people will end up on these lists. You shouldn't be surprised that anybody will come out and defend them to save their own skin in order to fucking rub elbows with these people, because that is what this industry has always been. Powerful men taking advantage of people who just want a piece of the fucking pie. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.